Hello, hello, hello. Active tracking won't work so ultra nicely. Yes. Now it's car. Go. So, how high am I? Let's test the active track with the DJI Air 3. Welcome to this video. My name is Paul. I'm sitting in my dad's wonderful Camaro from 2014 and we test now the active track capabilities of the wonderful new DJI Air 3 camera. We are currently on 20 kilometers per hour because we are from Germany and we will ask the questions, and we use the only metric system that is important, the metric system, not foot or miles or anything funny. So I think the thing making a pretty decent job. The active track can you also do from the side, from behind, from the right. Can I change it? Yes, I can change it to the left here. Obviously, is it on a closed road and I'm not controlling my DJI remote with my hands here, because that would be not so smart. Don't be ultra stupid when you fly your drone. Be smart and don't do this at home. So I make a U-turn here now. Because this road is nice and empty, and oh, my drone just catched another car, I guess, so that's funny. Let's see where my drone is. I park here. Let's fly my drone back. Our drone lost us a bit. It says it cannot track me because it doesn't recognize this as a car. Now it recognizes as a car and I can say go from the front. I want that this drone tracks my car from the front. We drive very slowly, 5 kilometers per hour, and the drone wants to overtake us now. I hope that works. A little bit, yes. Does it work? There are some trees behind me and the drone. I film in 4K 25 FPS and I wonder if that would better work when I film in 4K 60 FPS. I guess that works. So, tracking works a bit. Apparently not when you make a U-turn. So I guess that works. We are driving almost 50 kilometers per hour and the drone can handle this. That looks very good. So the drone lost me somehow. I don't know why. Maybe I was too fast. I will check the screen later. But the drone lost me. Guys, that's a real world test here. So I am back from vacation, and one day before my vacation started, this little neat drone arrived in my camera backpack, and that's a little test video here. If you don't know me, my name is Paul. I'm a little German filmmaker. I can happily say that I can afford a living from my videography and photography work. So that's a little videographer, filmmaker review from the DJI Air 3. So is this drone any good? I tested it over the last 2 weeks in Greece. And as you just saw the little tracking real life world test I made, it's okay. Push up this camera back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. 1, 2. That's actually nothing. So I only got the variant with the DJI Air something remote, not with the neat display and the antennas. I have not the 20 kilometers range and I have just one battery, and I ask myself, is one battery enough for me? And I can clearly say yes, for a normal usage is one battery more than enough for me, because I'm used to fly the DJI Mavic Mini, and it was for the last 3 years my go-to drone, and it was an amazing drone. It broke on the second day from my vacation, but that's another story. And this drone has approximately 46 minutes of flight time, which is huge in my opinion. I never used all the 46 minutes because when you have a little bit wind and everything, you will never reach the 46 minutes. But I fly especially on sunset. How long lasts the sunset? In best conditions, maybe half an hour then, or 20 minutes, you have the best light. And the 40 minutes, real 40 minutes I had then was more than enough for me to make exceptional good videos. So what do you get when you buy only the drone with the cheap controller? I mean, that's still 1,150 euro or something. But you get a drone which is amazing. The video quality is exceptionally good. And I extend anyway the 40 minutes or 46 minutes of flight time by using 4K 60 FPS. I convert then the footage to 25 FPS in post, and then when I fly, let's say 10 seconds on the beach, I have over 24 seconds in total, a real good clip. This drone is insane. It has 2 cameras, you know the specs probably. It has 2 of the same sensors, and one 24mm camera and a 70mm camera. That means then you can record 4K 60 FPS or even 4K 100 FPS in the SNQ mode in exceptional good quality. The new D-Log-M is very good. It has amazing dynamic range. It looks just fantastic. You have to download the new LUT from DJI. At first I used the normal D-Log to Rec 709 conversion and the footage looked terrible and I was a little bit disappointed, but then I got the correct LUT and it looks amazing. It is a really good drone. Let's talk about image quality from this new drone. The image quality on this drone is, in my opinion, ultra amazing. Let's start with night video. Night video, this has a certain night video mode in this drone, and I tested it in Greece. And from my standpoint, this is very good. When you just look at the screen and you don't pixel peep, when you have the screen in front of you, that looks amazing. Sure, when you zoom then in a little bit and you want to see maybe a little bit more details, you can clearly see that it's heavy noise reduction. The ISO is okay-ish. My full frame camera is of course at night better than the small little mini sensors in this drone. But this drone is blow my mind how good the night videos looked. It works in camera heavy with nice noise reduction, and you see a little bit flimmering where the footage is then corrected. But for just looking at the video and for having this on a screen and a normal viewing condition, looks that very good in my opinion. On daylight looks this camera even better. I filmed most of the time in the D-Log. I used then 4K 60 FPS because I wanted to extend my flight time. I wanted to have the possibility to film, let's say 10 seconds and convert it then to a 25 or 24 second clip. And I think that looks super cool. And I also tested then the SNQ mode, the 4K 100 FPS, which works on both camera. And I think that looks also very good. On normal daylight conditions, when you have then sunlight, it looks cool. Every drone looks, in my opinion, very good. The DJI Air 3 is no exception. It has an amazing image. You can grade it, you can play with it, you can correct the colors. It is in 10-bit. And even the normal mode, the normal color mode works ultra nice. You have then this vertical mode, which is then 9 to 16 in 2.7K, and that looks also very good. It doesn't tilt the camera like in the DJI Mini 3 Pro, but it doesn't have to in my opinion. Most of the time I use anyway the complete sensor, and then I make little videos from it from my Instagram reels, etc. IS Jonak Film on Instagram. Let's talk about picture quality. This drone can also take photos. It is a photo drone, a drone that can also take photos. Who have thought that? This drone works also with photos, and in my opinion, are the photos good? It has 12 megapixel and a fancy magical 48 megapixel photo mode, whoever that works. And I think stick with the 12 megapixel photos. The 48 megapixel photos are also pretty cool. I don't know, I used it maybe once or something, but the coolest thing I think with the photos is the capability that this drone can make ultra nice panoramas. I discovered the panorama function in this drone and I loved it. That looks amazing. I mean, 24 millimeters is nice, but for landscape photography, you want a little bit more. You want maybe 16 millimeter, 12, 14 millimeter. You want a nice wide angle, especially from above, and you want to see the whole island and everything. So if you want to make real nice pictures with this camera, in my opinion, take your time and use the automatic panorama mode. It can make a sphere, it can make a vertical panorama, it can make a horizontal normal panorama mode. That's ultra insane. I like this. That looks exceptional good, and you don't even have to connect these pictures via Lightroom because the drone does this by itself. That's ultra cool. You see this little pond here? That's the mystical Adlershofer, Berlin, little frog and fish pond. Alligators live there and eat the homeless people. No, just kidding. They eat, not the homeless people, they eat normal people that fall into this pit. And then they get eaten and the alligators can survive. That's the circle of Mother Nature. Not sponsored by Monster Energy. So that's the thing when you purchase the normal variant with the remote, then you have to put your phone into the remote. That takes always a little bit time to connect your phone, and I even do this fast now because I don't want to steal you any time, but I just want to show you the process of connecting your drone and then unlock your screen, power up the remote, go in the DJI Fly app, and then connect your phone with the internet, because you apparently need internet for this thing here, and then you can connect your drone. That's how long it takes to activate the remote. A lot of people say that it's a really cool thing that this drone can ascend really fast, and when I do it in sport mode, it is indeed very fast, and it is 9.9 meters per second. It's almost in free fall velocity. Here, let's stop the recording for a second, because when you then want to change to the 3x camera, the 70 millimeter lens, then you must press pause and then you start recording again. This camera looks very cool, and there is a little skate park that it's people skate there and break their bones with the BMXs and stuff and try to be cool and then breaking their bones. That's not so cool, but anyway. So you have some different modes. You have, for instance, what I talked about, the photo mode here. You have normal single pictures, and then you have a little waiting time, and then you have the Belichtungsreihe, which means that it takes several pictures, maybe 5 pictures after another, different brightness levels, that you can then make these pictures to a real HDR picture. That is also very cool. It takes a little time to process everything. I have a really fast SD card in the camera, but anyway. Then you can also say series from 3 to 7 pictures. It also takes a little bit to take these 7 pictures and then write it on the SD card. Like I said, my SD card is ultra fast, but I wish that this process would be a little bit faster, because I wait and wait and wait to have another possibility to make 7 pictures after another. But who am I to complain about it? Then intervalometer, of course, and then you have the so-called pano mode, which is ultra cool in my opinion, you can make a sphere. Then this camera takes multiple pictures on all sorts of angles, and then it connects these pictures to a whole sphere. I think that's actually the first time I used the sphere mode, and that's super nice. If you want to buy my pictures, then write me a DM and I tell you my luck to work with these pictures and everything. So camera is done making enormous pictures and making a sphere, and then it says 78%, and then you wait again a little bit. The waiting game in this drone is a little bit strong. You have then to wait a little bit to activate the master shots. It has me here, approximately flight time 2 minutes. You press start and the drone makes the magic, and then it flies all by itself and making a circle, a droney. It starts with a droney. It takes 2 minutes to make this, and it makes a circle, a spiral, etc., and it looks just super cool. Let's talk about noise. The drone is now distance 50 meter, height 60 meters. I have normal outdoor condition, and when I know the drone is there, I can hear the drone. The sound is very okay. It's not so loud like the older drones, which are very high pitched, especially with the DJI Mavic Minis. These propellers are okay. It doesn't sound anymore so ultra scary with the high pitched I will kill you. This drone is basically it sounds okay in my opinion. Let's make another push-ups while we waiting to finish the nice master shots, because we want to stay fit, because I saw my pictures in Greece and I think I have to get a little bit fit again. But actually I have to do sit-ups and push-ups because my chest is okay, but I want to get rid of this fat here. We are not a fitness channel, and yeah, fitness is not the most important thing in life, but it is a little bit important. I think I'm high enough that the collision avoidance mechanism doesn't have to work, but I'm also a little bit cautious. I fly all the time higher than the highest point in my surrounding, that I don't crash into some trees or anything. That's important for me, and it makes some boomerang maneuvers here or something. Yeah. Let's talk about image quality. We're filming now in the superior 3x 70mm film mode, and of course you have almost no shallow depth of field. I mean, if I want to establish a shallow depth of field with this drone, it has also the possibility to manual focus me or something, but you have no shallow depth of field here at all. That's with this drone not possible. I mean, I have here on my camera now an f4 with the 60 to 35mm with the glorious OG Lumix S5, props for that, and I have a little bit shallow depth of field, but not with the 70mm. I have a 70mm in my bag here, and it's 2.8. That's also 2.8 in this drone or something, but of course you don't have a shallow depth of field in this camera. You can have a little nice neat parallax effect, and when I then say spotlight or point of interest, now I want to say spotlight, this camera is following me, which is ultra cool. Spotlight is basically the capability of this camera to follow me. It stays stationary. It will not fly. Okay, that doesn't work. Okay. Spotlight. Okay, spotlight again. Lost motive. Okay, again. That's a real world test. I'm not sponsored by anything, and let's see how long this drone can follow me. I mean, spotlight. Let's fly a little bit higher. Maybe this drone has then a little bit problems with me because I was on the same level. Yes, spotlight works like this, that the drone follows you stationary, but you can also fly with the drone. I can fly the drone now to the right side. I can move it a little bit down and move it to the other side, and the drone follows me, which is actually a pretty neat feature. I like this feature. It looks ultra cool. You can also make a little circle, nice parallax effect, no shallow depth of field at all, and yeah, that's the 3x cam, and you can make nice Michael Bay shot. I mean, I'm very tight now and the camera lost me again. Yeah, that's a real world test. I think on some conditions lacks this drone a little bit. Maybe a software update would be cooler to work a little bit better. Okay, let's test this 24mm camera. Maybe that was not the best camera setting for this type of situation, because now we're on 24mm. We're circling around, and yeah, that works apparently. That's cool. Let's try the active track mode. And active track works okay. It works okay-ish sometimes. I mean, now I'm on the active track mode. Let's see how that works. I mean, I can also then say that the camera should follow me from the right side. I think that's capable of doing that. When I then move the camera a little bit closer, that should also work. And when I move then here to this direction, the camera then actually should turn around, and I hope it avoids the trees behind me. I think it does, yes. And it wants to stay on my right side. My right hand side is here, and it works when you run, it works when you go, but it doesn't work on water. No drone can track you on water. That's somehow impossible, but it works a little bit. Not so good by car, but like this. Let's speaking about camera and resolution. You can also press the button here, the 1x button, then you have the 2x digital zoom, then you have the 3x digital zoom, and it goes back to the 1x digital, not digital zoom. When you have then the 70mm camera and you record in, let's say, 4K, and you press the 3x button, then you have the digital zoom, which is then a 6x zoom, and you can press it again for a 9x zoom. That's almost like a spy camera, ladies and gentlemen. I feel now like James Bond following this truck, because it's the gold in the truck and we have the heist going on, and we must follow the truck because then the other team wants to then, I don't know, capture the truck and make a heist mission. That would be cool escape room. I mean, in Berlin we have these escape rooms and blah, but how about making an escape room with a real bank heist, rebuild a bank with police officer, with paintballs and everything. I mean, an escape room for me, for my computer games destroyed brain, you know, with real paintball, real pain, and a real heist. I would pay 200 euro for it per person. That would be ultra insane. Come on, make this happen, someone, or I steal this idea and then I make the heist room. There's also this little hyperlapse feature in this camera. A hyperlapse works best when something slow is moving and then you have the fast looking movement, like the sun is going down or anything else. That's basically the purpose of the hyperlapse. There's another nice little feature in this camera. I almost forget about it. You can add now waypoints to this neat little drone. You basically then, let's say you don't want to record yet, and I think this function is for situations like this. You press the FN button to make a waypoint, and this camera follows then every movement you make. You make then another waypoint. Let's fly here to make then another waypoint. I make this really fast and rough now because I don't want to steal so much time from you. Let's enable the normal mode because I want to have hinderness avoidance mechanism. So let's fly here and then fly back. So, and this waypoint mechanism is intended for little, like it said, it's a waypoint feature. When you fly then a certain route, you want to maybe have a certain movement.
Battery level is low.
Battery level is low, thank you very much. It doesn't return yet because I have 20% battery left. It then reflies your fly. It also mimics the camera movement. It's a nice handy feature for planned shots. It's a little filmmaker tool. When you have a planning shot, maybe you say this camera make this and this movement, you pre-plan the movement and then you run around and then you have a nice little video where the camera is then mimicking this movement. And can you see this? These propellers have certain colors on it. This propeller has a nice little gray ring, and that propeller doesn't have a gray ring. That means that this propeller is for the front and that propeller is for the back. You see this nice little gray ring here that says it comes on this gray thing here, and the other side doesn't have a gray ring. Hope you can see this, and that propeller goes on this side, so don't be confused when you then attach the propellers. So can you work with this camera? Is this a drone that you can use for professional environment? I say 100% yes. The 3X camera is a specialty for itself. Most of the drones have the 24mm camera, except you have the DJI Mavic 3 Pro or the Cine version for like 5.5K, and it's ultra expensive in my opinion for the quality you get. It has, the DJI Air 3 has not the 5.1K or 5.6K or whatever, but I don't use it anyway. I shoot most of the time in 4K or 180p, 1080p, that's more than enough for me. Pixels are a lie, resolution is not existent, and it doesn't make your video better, believe me. And this drone is amazing. It comes down to the image quality, to the codec, the roll-off, the highlight roll-off is nice. You see everything in the shadows with this drone. You see everything in the harsh light. It works very good when you have like shadow and harsh light conditions. It renders colors nicely. The new D-Log M is nice, and that's what's important for me. It is 10-bit. It is in D-Log, it's a logarithmic color profile. I like it very much, and I think this drone is amazing. I color graded some of the footage, and if you want to see in the future a color grading movie with this drone, then subscribe to my channel, then you see maybe a color grading tutorial. If you have any questions about this drone, then subscribe to my channel. I'm a German filmmaker from Berlin, and if you want to see more, then we see us in the next video.